Here's my tour of my treehouse. It's on Pender Island and it's called Raven Loft. I'll start at the bottom and then go up the stairs and work my way around the bottom of the treehouse and then up and inside. So hopefully it'll all work out, and I'll put some layered video over top if there's anything up close that I want to show. Yeah, so we'll start here with the stairs and at the bottom. This is a piece of log here that came from a tree up higher up on the property. And my neighbor across the street, perhaps you might hear him do something over there, he milled it and that became part of the countertop. That tree was diseased and had to be felled before I built the treehouse. Yeah. So then here's the stairs. The stairs go all the way up. And they're just dugout stairs. They're nothing special. They get the job done, and they'll erode, and I do have plans to stabilize them more. But for right now, it's just easier. The treehouse was the priority. So coming up to the top of the stairs here, the treehouse is on the left. So that's the support structure underneath. There we go, it's focused. And yeah, so the support structure underneath, it's pretty simple, a little triangle off the tree, two of them, with a vertical support post and an extra post down the center, down to the ground. That's just for extra backup. You never know. Yeah. And then up the top there, you can see the siding. This is cedar siding. It's kind of it's beveled cedar siding, and it was expensive. This was the most expensive side. There was a couple pieces that I was able to return because in the bottom left there, you can see it kind of looks like a hole, but that's a mirror. So I added a mirror on the outside. It works just like siding and kind of gives it a funky little look. When I was returning the two pieces of siding, actually one part was on the top of my truck and it snapped right off because of the wind. So I wasn't able to return that one, but oh well, you live and learn. Stairs over there, but I'll show up close. That's a retaining wall that I built out of the rocks on my property, and it's about 1 meter high, or 3 feet high, and it works. It's sort of the landing for the stairs, and it's quite the little project. It was fun. It's all dry stacked, so it doesn't need to be cemented or anything, and it's pretty stable, and it's got dirt behind it. So here's a little mini giant sequoia that I planted on the property, and it's doing all right. It's good. There's another one up there. You can see where the rocks are over there, where they came from on that hillside there. Pull them over. This is a landing here step. It's a main step. There we go. Then up, we got a little rock border here, and another little stair here. And then here's the stairs. I might have to change the stairs. I have the CRD, the local government, is interested in the treehouse and its size and its stability. So we're going through a review process with that, and they're doing a great job, and I'm happy to oblige any concerns they have, because it has to be. I mean, it's a pretty significant treehouse. At the bottom here, I'll show you. Here's the wheels at the bottom. And the wheels, because the wind load on the side of the treehouse shifted, what happens is the shift of the treehouse pushes this out, and I had them on the bottom there before, and it actually was loading and then releasing and kicking out. And what was happening is it felt like the whole treehouse was momentarily collapsing, but it was just I figured those out late one night during a storm, so it was good that I figured that out and just added wheels. I remember somebody else having that type of problem and just recalling it off the internet, another video saying the exact same thing on a landing with a treehouse, and then I remembered I had this problem. So the railing here is a couple posts off my property. Actually, you know what? I'll back up for a second here and I'll show you the whole treehouse if you can get your some bearings. And so that's the treehouse there. You can see my little stop work order perhaps right there. Just waiting for it to focus. There it is. So a little stop work order, a little pink thing there. I'm basically done, but it has to go through the review, and I'm happy to do so because as long as it's able to be up, it's going to be even safer, and we'll have all the different requirements for it. So then it'll be fully legal. A little bit of a miscommunication in the beginning, and yeah. So the siding here is a whole bunch of shingles, obviously, and I did two different types. I did straight shingles here, and then up above I tried to do step back and forth, and just kind of the simplest way I could do that. You can see the little light there outside, and the mirror again on the side, another one. The cedar, it's a western red cedar that it's on. It goes way up, way up, way up. It's a healthy one, seemingly. I haven't seen any problems with it. But the siding I got for free from an abandoned house when in 2008 there was the economic collapse. And these shingles here um, had been in the ravine where they were at. They just dumped on a pallet, dumped in the ravine because of the economic collapse, and I guess people didn't want to deal with it. So I guess this was 6 years later now, 2014, 2015, 2008. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, it was definitely a great help to shingle this side, to do the siding on this, and it has a really great look. I was so close on the numbers that this horizontal piece of pine that I put across there, if I didn't put that down, I wouldn't have had enough to finish the top there. It was that close. So really close. All the windows that I got, I received either free through friends, purchased them. I think I only spent about 200 on windows, but I've got a really big window inside that I'll show you once I get inside. So I'll show you the other side over here, and then I'll show you the more close-up of the structure. So there's this siding. This is kind of known as board and batten. Board and batten is kind of one that goes in and one that goes out. And it's just slapped over top. It's kind of like a weird look on this side, but nobody ever sees this side. You can see a little downspout from the water and the power line that comes from my neighbor temporarily. I'll be getting a power pole this summer, most likely. And yeah, the support underneath, you can see, here, I'll stand up here. And I think I'm pretty sure, yeah, there we go. You can see the wires there, and the wires prevent it from swaying. So they are attached to the corner and then go off to the side to the tree over here. And then you can't really see that, but it just prevents it from both sides from swaying, and it works really well. And I'm really happy my friend made that suggestion. So there's a support structure here. I've got a Treehouse attachment bolt I bought from treehouses.com. Michael Garner, he sort of pioneered those down at the bottom, and he did a phenomenal job over the years. And you can buy them all over the internet, and as long as you get professional grade ones. And it's got a fixed beam bracket down below, and a turnbuckle with a backup up to top with a lag bolt in there. I have a little walkway between the two there just to make it easier to see things and work things out. I might take it out later, but so it's got a horizontal beam that goes out. At the corner there, it's got a bit of strapping and bracing. It's got a little strapping and bracing over here that prevents the shear load, and it's also got two pins, carriage bolts that are holding that together. So I'm really happy with that. Another suggestion from a friend. Yeah, and then it's got a horizontal or vertical beam that comes down to this point right here, and then lag bolts into this area here. Whoop! Slipped. And then I'll show you on the other side. It's easier to see. That's my bike. This is how it ties together at the bottom. It's a big heavy post, and it's notched together there, and it's big, so it's it's got quite a big size here, and it's got two little washers here that act as a boss to distribute the weight in the wood, and it's got carriage bolts through there. So again, it's got a good sound to it. It's got really stiff, and yeah. And then this is the backup here. Again, for a suggestion from someone on the internet when I first posted it. So it's just an extra post that goes all the way up and has a little platform underneath. It lifts about 1,500 pounds off the weight, maybe 2,000. And then it's just got a little jack underneath that pushes it up. Just got a little jack underneath there that pushes it up and kind of hidden by some dirt. There's my bike. Yeah, again, I got these brackets and everything from the treehouses.com, and they're really great. And he gives you a bit of help if you need something. And he actually suggested the way this is designed and set up with the horizontal triangle, because I had another plan in mind with another treehouse called the Trillium treehouse, but that structure was just a bit too hard to try and figure out. So yeah, perhaps you saw here, I'll come down to the bottom here. This siding here was the last siding that we did, and this was really affordable shiplap siding. So they use it for they use a shiplap siding for framing concrete because it's got a little groove that fits in the next groove. But I got a whole bunch of that for a really good price at the hardware store here in Pender. They've been huge, helpful hands, good advice, and yeah, Home Hardware is a good company. It's a co-op, so it's owned by its owners together, and it works really well. That's the big bay window. It's 8 feet wide by 6 feet tall. It was the feature window that was given to me for free in Victoria. Somebody was renovating their house and they thought, oh, I don't need it, so they put it up online, and I immediately went over and picked it up. I partly regretted it because it was just so massive and hard to get over here. And the window upstairs opens up as well. So yeah, the shiplap out here has a really good color to it. It's kind of an orange color, and I think I might have to clean that side and redo it because it's had some drips off from the trees, and yeah, and the roof as well. So yeah, I also actually I'll mention this. The underside here is flat because it's called a structurally insulated panel, and a SIP panel is essentially OSB plywood, the whole sheet that you see on the bottom, a styrofoam core that's 3.5 inches thick, and then another OSB on top, and it's professionally glued together. It cost me about $600, but it was the easiest way to make an insulated, hard, firm first foundation floor. And I intend to paint it up when I can, and I think it works really well. The overhang that you see down there, maybe you could support that. That could be supported, and but otherwise it's very sturdy. I'm very happy with it. So it's called a structurally insulated panel, or a SIP panel, but they're a bit pricey. If you have any consciousness for your foundation for price, it's kind of a hard way to go, especially if it's a casual use kind of thing. But I thought it would be easy enough. It was okay. It was a heck of a time trying to get it up there onto the platform. So we'll go inside. I'll show you the stairs actually. So the stairs here, these cedar posts here, they're from my property. Somebody previously that owned the property, they felled a whole bunch of trees on the property before. I bought the property on a court-ordered sale for $35,000. It's quite the deal, and probably the cheapest piece of property that has been sold in years around here, but the market's a little bit low in the islands right now. So yeah, those are posts that I cut down, or no, I didn't cut them down, but I cut them to size and then notched them to fit at the bottom. Then I just lag bolt 2 here, and it's really stable. It's good. Then I've shaved the corner here, and I've got a little notch inside that fits really well, and it's super sturdy. So I'm really happy with that. And so these 2 fir trees were just on my property from the top of the property, and the person just cut them down and left them, and I thought I would use them because they were left over. The stairs are notched in, and they're more work than I'd recommend. So that's about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in to the wood, and then screwed in from the side here, screwed in from the side there and there, so 2 on each one, and then glued as well to hold it in. And I'm really happy with the stairs, but if I would ever suggest, I just put a little block, screw and glue a block underneath, and then put the stair on top. It's just way too much work to try to do this way, but it looks good. It's got a little overhang here. It's about 6 inches for width. It's not code, but that might need to be addressed with the local government, which is fine. It's legitimate. So coming up here, I gave a little water treatment on this. Coming up the top, I got a little landing here. I gotta say, pressure treated wood is really great. It lasts for a very long time, but the problem is with pressure treated wood, which is all this here, is that it's garbage afterwards. So you can't burn it. It won't decompose. So it basically has to go in a landfill. On hindsight, I would have maybe thought of a different approach, but that's just something that you learn when you go along. Here, I'll show you a close-up here of the fixed beam bracket. So this is the fixed beam bracket. It has the Treehouse attachment bolt, or Garnet Lin. Let's see if that focuses. And then it's got 2 carriage bolts that go down through there, and then it holds on there, and like a big nut on there. And it's painted, powder coated, and then over top, and then it holds it nice and steady in its space. If I could have, I would have had it a little bit farther out from the tree, because I'm going to have to trim some of this bark away. It's really thick bark, and I didn't suspect it to be just all bark, but that'll have to be something I'll address. But, you know, you live and learn. So there's the tree again, looking up. Yeah, it's a beautiful tree. There's the window upstairs. It's a really nice wood frame window. Wood versus vinyl versus aluminum. Vinyl's really good, wood's really good for insulation. Aluminum, the properties of aluminum are phenomenal for its proper use, but for transmitting heat, it's also really good, but not when you're in a house. So if you got an aluminum window, sure, it works, but whatever. There's another little mirror, and here's the stop work order, which is fine. I'm happy to oblige to them. And here's a little lockbox. It's really good. It's super firm in there, not moving. The code is I'm not telling. So it works really well for not having to carry a key with me. There's a little walkway. There's the door. I got a little funky little handle on the door, which I think is really cool. My friend Steve, he'll see this probably, and he'll say it's the ugliest handle around, but I think it's quite funky for the treehouse. Here's the siding. Beautiful stuff, just beautiful stuff. I can't believe somebody would have dumped that in a ravine. So yeah, we'll go inside. So I'll give you a little quick view around, and then I will kind of go into detail of little stuff. So here's the main area here. Here's the living room. And then the living room turns over into the kitchen, obviously really close by. It's 13 feet by 8 feet, and that gives 104 square feet, what fits in the 10 square meters metric to 108 square feet standard, and provides just enough exterior wall space to fit within. So the foundation and the siding all count for exterior siding, and yeah. Well, and then up the stairs here, and then upstairs is up there, obviously. Upstairs, and then there's the secondary loft up above with the stairs. And yeah, so we'll start on some of the detail down here. The siding here, the trim around the window is just really simple 3/4 inch by 3.5 inch pine. Really cheap stuff, but that's all it needed. Here's a coat rack here. Nice, super simple, just 2 screws right into the stud behind there. Leftover piece of fur that I had. It was just a big trimmed piece, and it works really well. It looks really great. Good contrast with the wallscaping here. Wallscaping is tongue and groove. It's really hard to get handle of for when you're working with it. I was so down one time when I was working with it because I just didn't realize you have to make sure that they're straight and that the edge is proper and it'll fit together, because it'll make you cry. So I've got some coat racks there. I think it looks really good. And then I got another coat rack up there, and there's some more coat rack or clothing rack, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So here's the window here. Obviously, it's a vinyl window. I'm probably happiest with this window for the one that I purchased. It's a really nice window. It's super simple, super light, and it went in really easily. Here's the candlelight tea heater. The candlelight tea heater, it has a bunch of different tea lights in here. It's got a silicone base so it doesn't damage this, and it's got a couple rocks just for thermal heat storage. The heat for the whole treehouse comes from multiple different sources, and this is one of the main ones. So each tea light gives about 90 watts of heat, and so that's about 400, say. Let's just conservatively say it's 400. And then this light up here, it's 100 watts there and 100 watts there, and that provides another 200 watts of heat. Then we've got the other lights which add about 50 watts of heat as well. So, you know, that's these are CFLs. This one is incandescent, much more high energy output. And then these ones are CFLs. And then the one inside the bathroom is also CFL, and the one upstairs is LED. And so that's about 50 more watts. Then the fridge provides a bit of heat, cooking provides a bit of heat, and the electric baseboard provides 200 watts approximately, um, which it's on 110 right now. But once I get my power pole, that'll push out about 750 watts. So in all, along with the people that are inside, the heat is about 1,000 watts, which is basically one of those little small baseboard or small little square ones that you kind of move around your house if it's cold. Uh, so yeah, I'll show you this here. This was something that took a long time, but very fortunate, very happy on it. So it just kind of like bows here, so that when you're sitting, you don't have the side in your space there. It was quite little thought that I had there. This is a concretion. So I got this from a local river, and what these are clay concrete type rocks, and they get weathered in a way that gives really interesting shapes. This one is, I think it looks like a porpoise. I have a couple others that I'll show you around the place. But, so yeah, this is just a regular, what is it about? It was a 10, 2 by 10, and then I just beveled the sides a little bit, or edged the sides and then flattened that out. Here's the big bay window. Uh, it's like I said outside, it's 8 by 6, and that was a job to get that in there. But it's the best window, and it gives a great view. Actually, I'll show you the view from up above. The road's down there quite a ways, and I limbed up this tree because I wanted to have a greater view, and I kept the stubs on there so I could climb it and inspect things. And I'm really happy I did. It opens up the space and it also gives a better vantage point. So it's quite a ways down there. Down at the bottom, if you're looking down, which is kind of the perception of when you're up here, it's about 50 feet, 60 feet down. But on this side, it's only 10. So it gives a, you know, the visual. This is the bed couch here, the couch bed. And it's, I think, about 5 inches thick and about 3 feet wide or so. And I built that myself, and it's got a little backrest here, and it's quite comfy. Somebody can sleep on it if they want. And so it's got a good cushion. I got some other cushions just from wherever. And then I built it kind of cantilevered here underneath with 2x4s and kind of cross bracing. And then it supported underneath. This is all dunnage here. So this is like dunnage leftover from laminated lumber. So it's good reuse. Got that for free. Those in the back there, that got for free as well, just from leftover bits and ends and stuff, and it's stable. And then this back part here is just a really thin piece of that tree that was felled on the property, and I just put that on the back, and it works really well and holds it up. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see it from here. So the tree was right there. That's the stump for the tree, and it was a big tree. My friend took it for his property, and in exchange, he helped me with the treehouse quite often, to put in the big bay window and all that. Oh, it's not called bay window. It's called big window. That's what it's called. And so that was felled, and then he took it off the property and has it for his house, ready to build this summer, and should be quite nice in his house. Could be a feature beam. And then a 6-foot chunk I was given for from the bottom there, and that was a piece that was used to make the bench and also the countertop here. And that little small piece and a couple other small pieces. Oh, actually, also the loft section up there. These are also from the tree. What else? This cross beam here was to put a cargo net floor up here, so a big cargo net floor across, and that still may happen, but it's not a priority right now. And so I have a bunch of wires that hold back anyone from falling down the pleasantly named Death Hole, courtesy of Steve. So he gave that suggestion. It's funny. Yeah, let's do the kitchen. So here's the kitchen. It's a nice little compact kitchen, and it's got, I'll wait for it to focus for a second here. Come on. Come on. Okay, I'll just go a bit closer and it should focus. So it's got the sink here, and the sink is fed by water that works from upstairs. So the tap works and it comes from upstairs. It's a water reservoir that I'll show you when I get upstairs. The wallscaping here, here's the for the for the heater. The wallscaping here is flush with the mirror because then I didn't have to buy as much wallscape. I just put mirrors here, and it definitely does help open up the space. So the sink I got for free. We have a really great recycling and free store on Pender, and I'm really happy they got all this stuff here. It's just plumbed outside, as you saw. Here's underneath. It's got the breaker panel back there, and got the water going off the side, and then siding there. This is the mini fridge. Works really well. Super small. This is the countertop. So this is 1¼ inch thick and just beautiful. Just beautiful. Put some sealant on there. This is silicone down, so it doesn't have any straps that hold it in. Works really well. This is the induction stove. The induction stove is also silicone down, and it's really high power, really fast, and works really well with no flame and no hot surface. So once you take the pot off, you put your hand down, it's perfectly cold. Well, not perfectly cold, but it's just from the residual heat of the pot. So it's at most like 100 degrees, but it's closed. It cools down really easily. There's the little drawer and everything and all that in there. Here's the window frame. So this is that shiplap from outside. It was extra stuff, so I just used that for across here. And I put a little silicone bead in here to prevent moisture from getting caught in there. Here's the seal. This is another one of those concretions that look like a seal. And it is sealed all the way up and out to here, so it prevents the water from getting back there. This backsplash here is just an aluminum leftover piece that I got at the recycling center, and there's a little bit of a junction here, but it's just held in with these little roof nails that are zinc plated, and it works really well, and it's a pretty nice color that adds a bit of flair to the treehouse. Yeah, here's the bathroom. I'll give you a view of it first. So it starts down there, and then it's about 4 feet, 5 feet long, and about I think it's 29 inches wide. The top there's got another extra little piece here. So I just realized that the phone or the camera only lasts about 20 minutes, so I'll do it quickly here. Here's the tongue and groove here, and it's wedged in between and also nailed down, so it holds together really well. This is the little door brake stopper, and it stops the bifold door here when it closes like that. There it is. A little privacy. There's a little ridge up at the top that was reused as well. And inside the bathroom here, we got the composting toilet. And the composting toilet I got from a guy in Victoria. His website's Composting Toilets Canada. And Composting Toilets Canada, if you just look that up, you'll find it's the first hit. And he sells them, and they're about 1,200 Canadian. And really great. They separate solids and liquids, and it's got a little tumbler, and then you pour out the liquids every once in a while. And it works really well. Here's the handle on the side that you turn. Yeah, just like that. And it's got the little bit of inside in there that's tumbling and separates solids and liquids, and then you pour the liquids out and solids go in the back and tumble and aerate, and everything works really well. It's a little bit high, so I have a little footstool here. This is the mirror that my friend got me, or not got me, he told me he would pay me $10 to buy it for the $10. Really funky mirror, really cool. Here's a free window that I got, aluminum, so it frosts up pretty easily. Opens up though, it has a little screen there. This is the mushroom. So this one looks like a mushroom. And again, everything is sealed along here. So, and then inside here, quickly, we've got this little triangle piece that covers up the door or the wall and just fills in that space. And then I'll show you on the outside here. It just fills in that crack space there. And I didn't actually have enough to fill in the space, so I just went and covered it up in a triangle. I'll be quick about this. This is a set of stairs I'm really happy with. It's a birch veneer side here. I think it's 3/4 inch or something. And then it's got these fir stairs. It's a sort of a shelving unit and stairs. There's a bunch of different things in this one. And what I like is that I have a stair that holds, and you can get your finger in there. So there's about 3/4 of an inch that you can fit your finger in there. And then you walk up, and then it's got all these different ones with the different plywood piece that fits in there. And I built this all in computer SketchUp first, and then ended up building it in real life, and it worked out really well. I took one suggestion to make it like this, just like the stairs outside. It's much better and easier this way. So again, your hands go right there, 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 here, and then when you come up to the top of the stairs, I put in a handle right here to hold, and then it's got another one up above, and you hold it again. That's focusing on the tree outside, but somebody made that Raven Loft sign for me after I did a presentation, and it was very kind. It was made on a laser printer, laser etcher printer. Beautiful. Here's this is a wood frame window again. Here's the water reservoir, and that drains to the wall downstairs, and the bottle just gets poured into here. And then the water drains down through there. Come on, focus. 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 Okay, well, anyway. And then this is another one of the concretions here on the window. I don't know, it's like not the seal, it's the walrus. Yeah, sure, it looks like a walrus. Extra little flashlight. This is the bed area here. It's the bed area. Ooh, how embarrassing. So that's the bed, and the window next to it has an opening window, but I had to modify this here. I had to cut the end off, and then it fits just above the bed like that, and it can open. It's a nice window, very functional. Yeah. And then that's the snake. Another one of the concretions. There we go. And then I'll show you the other side. And that's the other side there, the secondary loft. And the secondary loft is kind of an extra sleeping area, storage space for water in the bottle. And yeah, so this is the light for this. And then we've got for the upstairs. And then it's got again the mirror here, just for use. Oh, these here, this is the first strip. The first strip, when you cut some beams, you end up stripping off the first piece, and I use this as the crown molding, and it fits really well up in there, flat, and I had to notch this out like that to make this flat. And the roof is just this stuff. It was really, really easy and affordable and easy to install. Just use the brad nailer all the way along and holds in. And 3 pieces with a couple extra strips here that cover up a space in between. And yeah, that's about it upstairs. Just maybe this little header piece here with another mirror here. Yeah, I'll go downstairs and maybe I'll remember something else. And I think that's about it. That's the treehouse. One thing I remember, we got these hooks above here, and the hooks up above, they allow you to dry stuff that is above the baseboard electric heater. So that's about it. That's all for the video, and that's the view here, looking out again, and that's about it. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I'll answer. And then if you like it, give it a like, or share it with some friends if you wish. And that's the tour of my treehouse, Raven Loft. It's kind of like the Tinyhouse treehouse, and it's definitely livable, but I don't live here right now. So take care, and thanks for watching the video.